Hey YouTube, Shelka04 here. So I want to do a quick review of the Zenith Z5RS. It's a clone of the HK MP5, and I'm going to do a quick unboxing video, and then I want to share my thoughts on why I went with this weapon as opposed to one of the other Zenith offerings. So first off, you can see you get a nice handy carrying case there with the big Zenith logo in the front. Let me open it up. You got your documentation, your manual. Over here you've got a Picatinny rail and a carrying strap. You got your, I guess that's that's a cleaning rod. You've got more of a cleaning kit here, and you've got three 30-round magazines. Now let's talk about the actual weapon itself. Zenith, as I said, makes three models. They make the Z5RS, the Z5P, and the Z5K. Now the P and the K are much shorter, somewhere in the area of this length. That makes for a sexy looking weapon. However, and I was going to go with the I think it's the K. Let's talk about the front end first, and then I'll come back to why I went with this. On the front end of this weapon, underneath this protector here, there are 1/2 inch by 26 threads, as well as there's a 3-point mounting lug here. Those are the two means with which you could mount a suppressor. On the Z5K, it has a similar setup, and the Z5P, and I may be getting those two screwed up, so you're going to want to check, and your mileage may vary, but work with me on this. Anyway, one has the barrel sticking out a little, the other one does not. So you could mount a suppressor. Now, the reason I went with this weapon versus the other two was that this one gave me the most in the way of options. As it is now, it's a pretty sexy looking weapon. However, this puts you at a real crossroads. And it's one that you need to be aware of, because any modification you make to this weapon puts you in position of violation of the National Firearms Act. So as it is now, the weapon is fine. If you wind up dicking around with this thing, you can put yourself in the breach of a lot of legality and a lot of trouble with the ATF. So that being the case, if you were going to mount a suppressor on the front, you need to have a Form 1 for that suppressor. This weapon also has the option of a vertical hand grip. If you do that, you convert this weapon from a pistol into an AOW, and any other weapon. So you need to have the paperwork if you're going to do that. But one of the reasons I went with this weapon was because if I ever decided to do the Form 1 and put a stock on this, you have the ability here to pull that pin and remove the back trunnion, and basically just mount the collapsible stock and replace the pin, and you're good to go. On the other twos, the Z5P and the Z5K, you've got to drill into the back and tap those holes, and then mount the collapsible stock. The folding stock. The 5P and the 5K don't have a collapsible stock. Let me say again, they have a folding stock that goes on the bottom, on the other side of the weapon, if you will. And I was real close to getting one of those other weapons, like I said. The reason I chose at the last minute to go with this weapon is because when I saw a picture on the internet of one of the other weapons with the folding stock collapsed, it was basically on the other side, covering up access to the trigger, and basically made the weapon as wide as it is now. I didn't like the idea of having that kind of stuff on the other side, boogering up my ability to get access to the trigger. So I wanted it as straightforward as possible. That's why at the last minute I decided to go with this one. It's a little longer, a little heavier than I would have liked, but I like the option of being able to just undo stuff and basically bolt on, if you will, the options. Again, those are options that if you exercise your thought of going that route, you need to be in NFA compliance. The other thing to consider is if you do go that route, it's my understanding that because this weapon is manufactured in Turkey, that you then need to make this weapon 922R compliant in order to basically make it a Form 1 compliant weapon again. If none of that makes sense, I apologize. I encourage you to look up those terms and do your own research. Your mileage may vary. Again, the terms you want to look up are AOW, any other weapon, the ATF Form 1 for making this basically an SBR, a short-barreled rifle, and I don't know, that's about all I can tell you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I look forward to hearing your comments in the comment section. Again, please subscribe if you have any questions. Like I said, let me know. Otherwise, Shelka04 out. Talk to you.